What's going on, yo? Goofy Rexy here, and hope everybody is well. Welcome, guys, to week 13 of the weekly or the beginner series. The weekly beginner series here, our Assembles beginner series, week 13. And I cannot believe that we are this far already, into this account. And the biggest thing for me, man, is we're definitely having a lot of fun and we are progressing. Even if, levels don't progress all the time, there's definitely still a lot of growth when it comes to the roster. So let's jump right into the main screen here. So we are still at level 62 right now. You're going to start to realize, if you're a beginner player, you're going to start to realize once you hit level 60 or so, it's going to slow down. It's going to slow down. Your progression is going to slow down just a tad bit, right? But it's okay. Things will pick up. Eventually you'll get to level 70. You'll start to be able to do some of those other content, that other campaigns, and it will be a little bit more valuable for you. Now, I would show you my arena, but we're kind of in the same place in arena, about 200 to about 300, or so. Some days we drop below 250 or 220. It depends on how arena is. Sometimes arena, not everybody attacks in arena, so you're able to kind of get some advancement there. But looking at the roster, this is kind of where we are. This right here, this top line, is me being angry. These are the red stars that I pulled. As you can see, none of these characters are good, and I don't like it. So just so you know, you're going to get bad and crappy pulls from your red stars. You're just going to have to move on and just make do with what you got. But we did get Baron Zemo. We finally got Baron Zemo. It's been a long time coming. All the raid orbs that we've opened up, the hard farm, the target farm, and Baron Zemo, we finally have Baron Zemo. We're building him up slowly. We got him to the max level that we can on our account right now, which is level 62. And we are building out the abilities here, 5. So we're going to be hoping to get, the special and the basic to level 6. We already got the ultimate to level 6, which I thought was important, and definitely the passive, to level 4 as well. Later on, we're going to want to be able to slap a T4, on that passive ability, but we don't necessarily need it right now. But I'm very happy that I have Zemo. I'm going to try to see if I can use him a little bit in some other areas, right? Definitely my arena shard. I'm going to see whether or not he has any viability there. The problem with Zemo, especially only at 3 and 1 red star, is that he's just, his health in general is not good. And then on top of that, he only has 1 red star on him. And I'm starting to see some 4 and 4 characters right now in my arena shard, which is a little crazy. We're not able to match up where that's concerned. But, we're going to build him out. We're going to see what other areas we can use him. He's definitely going to be a part of our Villain 7 plan, using him on a hybrid Sinister 6 team here so that we can get through, that campaign when we get to it. But we're what, 8 levels away from that. So we're not fully concerned about that right now. So we need to find out where else we can use him, because he's an impactful character. And that is, we want to try to make sure that we can find places to use impactful characters, in this game. I also built up Mr. Sinister as well. We got him to level 62 and gear tier 11. My goal eventually is to get him to level 65, gear tier 11, probably leave him there, and he just has a lot of value on the roster with his clones. He's also a character that I'm going to be bringing into Dark Dimension 2. So we should talk about Dark Dimension 2. I know Dark Dimension 2 is a little bit further away on this account, but you definitely want to start thinking about content that is endgame content, even when you first start out, because you want to do proper investment, especially if you are a free-to-play player. You got to start thinking about these things from Jump Street, right? So Mr. Sinister is one of the best Dark Dimension characters. You can use him in Dark Dimension 2, Dark Dimension 3, Dark Dimension 4. You can use him as a part of your arena team. There's just a lot of value that I feel that Mr. Sinister provides. So I'm absolutely going to be investing into him, because I know that he can be useful in other areas of the game, but definitely also Dark Dimension 2. So once I'm able to start actually grabbing some of those superior, that orange gear in the supply store, I think once you get to level 64, that's when you have access to seeing some of that gear. I'm going to make sure that I start grabbing those ballistic weaves, which is his hero unique, his superior unique, and definitely, probably for some other characters too. So some of those other characters are going to be Minerva. Minerva is gamma radiation. I'm going to be grabbing gamma radiation in It's gamma radiation, I think, right? I'll double check on that later, but I think it's gamma radiation, for Minerva. There's also Ghost. She needs quantum energy. I'm also going to be grabbing that quantum energy. These three characters that I'm mentioning here are characters that are good for Dark Dimension 2, Dark Dimension 3, and then Dark Dimension 4. Now, ideally, I would like to probably have, you know, other characters like Symbiote Spider-Man, but I'm pulling milestone orbs. That's the only place that I can get him other than spending money. And this is a free-to-play account, so therefore I kind of can't really expect for him to be in the picture. But we do have 8 levels before we get to level 70. I think I got about 40 shards for him. He's a 100 shard unlock, you know, so maybe we'll get lucky using him. Hela at some point is also going to be another character that I'm thinking about taking in. Hela and Greg is amazing. Hela, Greg, and Minerva is also going to be a really good combo that you can use as well in Dark Dimension. So that's going to be something that we're going to be pushing towards, you know, as well. And Hela is going to be a little bit of damage that I can use in Dark Dimension 2 as well, even though you don't necessarily need damage, because Minerva is going to out damage everybody in Dark Dimension 2 because of that 15% damage, and that she's taking a 50% health that she's stealing from those enemies in Dark Dimension 2 who have very large health pools. That's definitely going to be able to help your team. She's going to out damage every single character in Dark Dimension. So I would say for Dark Dimension 2, probably the most important character is going to be Minerva. Then I would say probably Ghost, you know, because she also does steal 15%. The only thing is that she does not give it to anybody on the team, but Minerva does distribute that health to your allies, you know. So these two characters I think are probably going to be the most important characters for Dark Dimension 2. And then Mr. Sinister, helpful, Hela, and then if we can get Symbiote Spider-Man, I think that would be ideal. That's kind of like what I'm thinking as my 5 characters that I want to bring into Dark Dimension 2, who also have, and those characters also have viability for DD3 and also DD4 later on as well. So that's kind of my plan. With Sinister 6, we're still farming right now to try to get, you know, Shuri. I feel like Shuri is very close. We just missed Invisible Woman. I feel like Shuri is very close around the corner as well. You know, so Shocker is going to be probably the reason, if I don't get it, Shocker is going to be the reason why I don't get Shuri, because Shocker is node today on stream. I did it in 0 shards for him, and I mean, what can I do, right? I'm farming, you know, I could, you know, refresh nodes, you know, the farm, you know, but the drop rates just aren't very good for Shocker. So there's a potential chance that we may miss him. We may miss Shuri, but Invisible Woman should be rolling around a little bit quicker. They said with some characters, especially primarily characters like Invisible Woman, you know, some of these legendaries are going to roll back around every 6 to 7 weeks. So Shocker might actually be a valuable option. For Shocker might actually be able to get to 5 stars. Not valuable option. Shocker might actually be able to get to 5 stars, you know, sooner or in time for Invisible Woman to roll back around. But I'm worried that Shuri's going to roll back around soon, and I'm not going to be ready for her. So that's a little bit of a concern. Electro, we'll be able to get her there with no problem. We have enough adequate, you know, resources, blitz credits to be able to farm her in the store. Rhino's already at 5. Mysterio, I'm not farming anymore because we're going to be able to get in mail at least 3 shards, you know, for him, or if they choose to do the calendar for Shuri, I'm going to get the 5 shards. So he's going to be able to get to 5 stars anyway. Swarmer's already at 5 stars. So these 4 characters here, I'm pretty confident about. It's this one right here. I'm not very confident about it right now. So we're gonna have to figure some things out there and see kind of where we land. But you know, hopefully we'll be able to get those shards and we can kind of just move on from there. Everything else, guys, is really kind of, you know, progressing as we expect. Strike Pass right now, we're at level 20. I want to say this. I didn't think it would be as easy for me to do it on the baby account. The only 2 areas that I'm struggling with right now, I have a lot of ions, so I can fuse with no problem with the ISOs. It's the blitz. I don't have a large enough roster to blitz with right now. I only have basically a 7-team rotation that I can use to blitz, and some of these teams are just not very good, right? This is a 10K team. This is a 7K team. You know, this is an 82K team. So I really only have 4 teams that can actually win, you know, in blitz. So I'm not really getting it's a little bit of a struggle, and I'm using a lot of charges. As you can see right now, I have 45 charges left, you know, and I don't log into the account as often as I do my main account, right? So it's kind of hard to get those 14 or 15 wins, you know, in blitz, as I need to be able to collect those tokens, for the strike pass. So there's probably going to be a few days where I'm going to miss that objective. I'll be able to get the other ones, but I'm most likely going to miss that objective when it comes to blitzing. But in raids, we can talk about raids 2. We're doing a little bit better. We dropped down to difficulty 1, and as you can see, your boy right here is number 4 because I'm a beast. So therefore, I'm number 4 right now. I'm using a Minerva, Hulk, Thor, Cap team, same idea, right? Getting those start charges. Thor goes off. Minerva's there for the reses. I'm also using CM because she does that initial burst damage, so that definitely helps me out too. And then we're only doing raid 2, alpha raid 2. For our Greek raids, I'm pretty much just running auto there. So very small, sort of progression on the account. So far, we do have to worry about this event here, this X Factor investigations event for multiple man. We have the easy version, which you can use any team for. Medium, where you got to use the characters that have the super sleuth tag. And right now, as you can see, I really only have 3 characters that I can do this with. So I potentially might have to build up Squirrel Girl, maybe potentially Cable for the speed up, on spawn. That might actually help out the team a little bit. Minerva and Ghost are definitely going to be good for this as well. But I don't know, man. Somebody mentioned Elsa for some damage. I just don't know if that's valuable enough for me to be putting. But she is, well, then again, now I think about it, she is Mystic Gear. I'm not really using Mystic Gear on anybody else other than Juggernaut right now. So I may have an excess of this, so it might work. But what we're going to try first, we're going to try on Friday night. Watch me live on stream. I'm going to log into the baby account for a little bit and try, to see. I'll post this video during the day on Friday. I'm going to try to see whether or not, I'm going to need to level up some of these characters to be able to get through this event. We at least want to be able to unlock, multiplayer man, but he is a 100 shard unlock. That may be a little difficult for me, like I said, because this is something that I only log into twice a day. So we may not be able to have enough time to be able to get that stuff done. But listen, guys, this is it. Let me know if you guys have any questions about anything specifically. Happy to help, of course. Like I said, I'm having a lot of fun with the baby account. There's going to be more content, more things that we're going to be able to do, more expansion of the roster. And I'll give you guys a little bit more of an idea of how I'm going about doing that. But like I said, I wanted to talk about those Dark Dimension 2, sort of characters, who I'm thinking about, because I know some of you guys already asked it in the comments last week, in the previous week. So I wanted to be able to answer that question. Listen, I appreciate you guys watching the video. Thank you guys so very, very much. Y'all be blessed and y'all be safe.